Alright, welcome to episode 11 in my Ultimate Slayer series. Today we're going to cover the Senntisten collection log. This is a bit of a strange log. It only has 8 drops to complete, and 3 of those drops are shared alongside the Lost Lands collection log. So you do actually see some people getting a double log completion if they save the Glacier boots as their last drop, which is pretty nifty. Anyway, it's going to be a very quick log overall. We have 4 creatures to kill: Nodon Dragonkin, Abyssal Beasts, Abyssal Lords, and Glaciers. Let's start off with a Nodon Dragonkin, who dropped the 3 unique cannon upgrade kits, each at a rate of about 1 in 2,000, although there's a pretty cool way that we can speedrun these log slots. So some people do like to AFK the Nodon Dragonkin in Legacy mode, which is perfectly reasonable, but instead I like to semi-AFK them with this Revo bar, and I would purposely stand in this area that lets me have a line of sight on the centermost area of the arena. I'm specifically looking out for the Nodon Engineer, who wears this pretty distinct orange orichalcum looking armor set. Every single time that I see this guy spawn in, I want to actively target and kill him. Not only does the Engineer have an increased drop rate of the cannon upgrade pieces at about 1 in 600, but when you do kill him, there's also a chance for him to spawn in a super Nodon Dragonkin called a Nodon Enforcer. Those Nodon Enforcers will look basically identical with the orichalcum armor, but they'll have a unique name like Luma or Stathis, or a handful of other unique Dragonkin names. Now when those Enforcers do spawn in, they will be slightly trickier to kill, but they are guaranteed to roll on the drop table that has the cannon kits, and from there it's only a 1 in 12 to hit a cannon kit roll, so it's very much worth your while to do this task just slightly more attentively than full-on Legacy AFKing. I highly recommend killing the Engineer every single time that you see him respawn. Yo, there we go. That's the Kinetic Cyclone kit, so kind of the least useful one. Looks like that's actually under a mil because no one uses these, but there we go. That's 2 out of 3. Yo, yes! That was the last one I needed. Also, oh my gosh, look at the price. 41 mil? That is huge though. I'm done with Nodons. Didn't take too long at all. Took maybe 10 or 12 tasks. Alright, I've got to sell this and see if it actually sells for 40 mil, because that was a little bit surprising to see that. I'll put it in minus 20. Okay, insta sells 38 mil, my goodness. Yeah, we take those. Next up are the 2 Abyssal Creatures. The Abyssal Beasts are really nothing special at all. They're hardly a step up from normal Abyssal Demons as far as our approach goes, and you can honestly kill them off task if you really wanted to chill. Not to mention that you probably want to be prioritizing killing Abyssal Lords when you do have an Abyssal Demon task. From these guys, we need to get the Jaws of the Abyss helmet drop, which is a 1 in 5,000 off task and 1 in 1,000 on task. You can kill these guys in the Senntisten Asylum, a player-owned dungeon, or deep in the wilderness, and take advantage of any passive wieldy damage increases. Like I said, mechanically they're really nothing special. You can AFK with magic or necromancy and take advantage of all of the clue scrolls and pure essence drops that you'll get. It really is a great monster for AFKing and farming those 2 drops in particular en masse. Now the Abyssal Lords are also fully AFK, but the gear required to do so is substantially more than with the Abyssal Beasts. I copied this setup and Revo bar from PvME, and it works out real nice. Don't forget your cannon, and if you want, you can even bring Dominion Mines to place down every so often. You are going to want to do these monsters exclusively on task for the damage and accuracy bonuses, as well as to make the drop rate of the Abyssal Scourge 5 times more common. The Scourge goes from a 1 in 10,000 off task down to a 1 in 2,000 on task. The final monster in the Senntisten collection log is the one that's also shared with the Lost Lands collection log. From these guys, we're going to need to get the 3 unique Glacier boots that each have a drop rate of about 1 in 1,260. Fortunately, we don't need to be on a Slayer task to get these drops, so we can just camp them indefinitely until we get all of the drops. We can also boost that drop rate up to about 1 in 627 by carrying a Most Wanted card from the Rush of Blood D&D. You can either kill these guys actively in the Glacier Cave, or you can fully AFK them at the Glacier front in Senntisten. The AFK setup uses this magic Revo bar and can be improved by using the Caroming perk. The setup is pretty specific, so I'll have the original full guide linked below. And to be honest, it is pretty slow kills per hour, but given that it's 100%, 15 minutes of pure AFK at a time, it's nice to leave this running in the background while doing actual work. So that's what I ended up doing. Yes, there we go. Steadfast boots. That's my first one. Got to see the KC. The card actually came in clutch there. Looks like I got that because of the card. All right, 680 KC for the first boot. All right, I didn't have the recorder on. I was just AFKing this at work today, but there is the Ragefire boots. That's my second pair now at a little over 1500 KC. Yes, okay. Oof, this took a few days of AFKing this. Pretty much all day while I've been doing my normal work. But there we go, 3 out of 3 on the boots, so that sets me up for the Lost Lands collection as well as finishes up this collection for Senntisten. And there you have it. For completing all of the drops in the Senntisten area, I've unlocked myself this pretty underwhelming purple title of the Zerosian Empire. I do like the color, but it really doesn't stand out from any of the Solomon Store titles or feel very unique for the Senntisten area. But still, a title is a title, and more importantly, that's my 11th completed Slayer log en route to the Ultimate Slayer title. There's now just 2 more to go, so the end is very near. If you've enjoyed keeping up with the grind and are ready to see it through to the end, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.